Cardinals Corner from Arizona Sports with Tyler Drake and Lauren Koval.
Well, if you thought last week was a rough one, the Arizona Cardinals this week against the Tennessee Titans, the then winless Tennessee Titans, decided to say, hold my beer. Welcome back into another edition of Cardinals Corner. I'm Tyler Drake. That's Lauren Koval. And we're back to talk about another Cardinals loss, 22-21 to the now one-win Tennessee Titans. And there's not a lot of good to say about this one.
No, could I have a sub in? Like, could you have a new co-host just for this podcast? Like, I'll be back next week to preview the Colts, but oof.
Yeah, not good, not good. And the worst part about it is that the Cardinals gave all the fans, everybody in the press box, just a taste of what their reevaluation, what their mini-buy, what they went to work on, gave them a taste of what it could look like in that first quarter and a half, first half, let's just say. After that, see you later. It just, I cannot believe the night and day difference. Like last week we talked about, I mean, for the most part, that game last week was embarrassing for different reasons.
Yeah.
This one, you have got to put away a team that can't even win a game. And instead, they let them come right back in. And some very, very, very bad turn of events. But still, once again, this Cardinals team cannot close out a game. And hey, they started out fast. That was the one thing this week everybody talked about. Oh yeah, we just got to figure it out. We got to go fast. We got to come out of the gate. Kyler Murray's talked about it a lot. They did that. Scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions. That's where all their points were. After that, guess how many they scored? And you're not going to win many games doing that.
No, and a look back at just the past 3 games, including this one that we've sat down and talked about, have all ended in walk-off field goals.
Yep.
So the Cardinals made history last week in walk-off field goals, and they're going to continue to make history this week now with the 3rd consecutive one. Yeah, to go back to the beginning of the game, targeting Marvin Harrison Jr., just what we've asked them to do.
Picks up where he left off last week.
Truly.
Thursday Night Football really looked like it left a mark on Marvin. He came out firing, had a tougher catch than last week outside of it being a touchdown. Looked great. Everything was like, wow, they're pushing the ball down the field. They're not sitting at the line of scrimmage.
No.
The run game actually looks efficient.
Enough so.
Without their starters.
Which was the most shocking part is how efficient they were early in that game. Marvin Harrison Jr. coming down with that near touchdown grab that puts them on the 1. He's double covered.
Yep.
He still comes down with it. That's the kind of confidence you want to see from him. Those are the improvements you want to see.
Yep.
Suddenly you look down at the stat package and we're on drive number 2 for the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr.'s got 3 catches and 72 yards.
Yeah, I think he had a season high in the first quarter.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, okay, this is what this
He's
team
going to
can
have
be.
200 yards today.
Maybe. The pessimist in me was
way
like,
he was rolling,
he looks good.
He was at 79 yards at halftime, and they just went away from him. Mm-hmm. I think he had, one more catch to get to 98 yards. Yeah, so not even 100.
They went back to him late in that game one time. Even the announcers and the TV broadcast were like, there he is. He's reemerged.
Yeah.
Look at what can happen. Look at how efficient this team could be. Once Marvin Harrison Jr. kind of dropped out of the picture, we saw a little bit more Trey McBride move into that, and that he looked solid as always. I have no complaints with Trey's performance nearly, if
Kyler
ever.
almost hit him with a really deep one too.
Yep.
That would have,
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of that, what almost was happening in this game.
Let's speak of what almost was.
Okay.
Because that was almost, the big almost was the almost dagger into the Titans' side that Amari DeMercado looked like he was going to push and twist. The Cardinal sin, no pun intended. Shout out to Kellen because he helped me with that. Kellen Olsen in the press box. We both talking about it. But that's the Cardinal sin in football. You have got to cross the line of scrimmage before you do any kind of celebrating, because that is what's going to happen. And honestly, it was close. Like, he almost got away with that. So third quarter. Mm-hmm. Third quarter.
Yep.
Driving down the field, 3rd and 1, gone. 75-yarder to the house. See you later. Game's over. Feels like it's over. But right before he crosses that plane, the ball comes out. Celebration starts early. Goes out of the back of the end zone. Instead of 6, instead of 8, instead of 7, It's a touchback. 20 yards the other way.
Which we've seen
And,
a lot in the NFL this year.
Mitchell did it last week,
yes.
I think.
It's just guys preemptively celebrating. And when I watched it live, I thought he still got the touchdown.
Yep.
Then on the replay, immediately it was like, no, he doesn't have this. And then you could hear everybody sort of on Twitter and social media and even there at the stadium being like, well, maybe he gets touched. Maybe that Titans defender messes with him a little bit, or the pressure, he senses he's right there. It doesn't matter. He's got him beat. And that was immediately the turning point in that game for both teams. You watched the Cardinals offense be unable to get first downs after that, have any plays worth more than 10 yards. You watched the Cardinals defense no longer feel like they had any life left in them anyway either. And you just hope that that doesn't become the catalyst for this entire season.
Yeah, because right after that ensuing drive for the Titans, 1 yard touchdown. That's how it ends. They get right back in the game, 21-12. Still 2 possessions with 10:30 to play. And yeah, could have been more too because good old Sly missed a kick.
Yeah, and he'd been awful. He'd missed 4 consecutive field goals leading up to the game today. So there were even question marks about their kicker going into the final field goal to seal the game for the Titans. It's not very far, but you're like,
it's like, is he going to miss another one there?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's easily the big one. Talking to everybody afterwards, Jonathan Gannon has talked about how it's a coaching point. And I mean, I guess the thing for me is like, if you are now talking to your guys, which I think everybody's going to be like, we are not dropping this ball until we're back on the Cardinals sideline now. You've got to make it a thing of like, go touch the other side of the end zone before you do anything. You do not stop the play until the whistle blows. I mean, that's the oldest thing in the book. Mm-hmm. Don't stop till the whistle blows. He stopped before the whistle blew.
And there you go. And something about that play felt like it sort of encapsulated all of what the Arizona Cardinals could be this season and haven't been yet and haven't been able to execute. It's just we're almost there, but we're not. Oh my God, what a great offensive play call from Drew Petzing because he breaks one. No. What a bad coaching decision from Jonathan Gannon because he drops it early. Have you not installed that culture and that mentality that you think you have in this team?
Right.
Amari DiMercado, you're promoted. You're RB1/1, 1.5 on this team. And now you have a shot to show us what you're all worth. You break one. Here's your touchdown. Here cements the game for the Arizona Cardinals. None of that happened.
Nope. And after the game, he owned up to it post-game in the locker room. He said, no excuse. It's on him. He's got to be better. Kyler Murray talked and said, like, he's really close with Amari. He's shocked. He never in a million years would he expect Amari to do that. And he knows his football IQ, his character's through the roof, so he wouldn't have expected that. And he's going to take it on the chin. He's going to be better for it. And yeah, you're obviously going to learn from these mistakes. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. these past couple games, Thursday night where he turned it around. You got to learn from these things. But you also have to realize there was still a lot of game left. It's third quarter late. But that was the dagger. The Titans were dead. You were beating a dead horse at that point. You do that, there is no life anymore. And Kyler said it best. It wasn't a game sealer, but it gave, like, the touchdown would have been a game sealer in my opinion, but he's talked about how it was just gave them life. That's all they needed. And you saw what they did with that little bit of life that they had left. That little bit of door was open and they ran with it. But that's not the only almost for this game. Because then you look on the defensive side of the ball, and the defense was great in the first half. I thought Josh Sweat, he continues to be everything that this team needed out of that kind of addition. 2 sacks. I think it was first 4 straight games now with the sack. First Cardinals player to do it in that length since Chandler Jones, 2018. So he's definitely showing his worth. But late, Rabbit, there was another chance for the Cardinals to really put the dagger, maybe not even dagger, just seal it. You really go out there, and instead you have Rabbit make a great play. Don't get me wrong, great play, but makes the interception, fourth quarter, goes down, gives himself up, ball squeaks out.
And
it squeaks out, just so happens to be in the end zone for a Titans touchdown.
And before it even gets to the end zone, it ricochets off of Keitrell Clark's foot, who looks like he's bending down to pick it up, which already is like, don't do that.
Yep.
Don't try to pick it up. Don't try to be the hero of this game. Don't try to run it back. Don't, just fall on it. Secure it. Have it be yours.
Yep.
Give it the extra little bump that this defense needs right now. It goes directly off of his foot right into the end zone, where somehow it ends up under Tyler Lockett. And it's a touchdown. And is it one of the weirdest touchdowns I've ever seen in the NFL?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Hands down. Is it a touchdown?
I can't. I'm watching the replay. Right? I can't believe it came out.
Yeah, don't do that
I
to yourself.
cannot believe it came out. And
Don't
the way
do
it
it to
just
yourself.
rolled, like, that's just, it's crazy.
No, and it's a solid defensive play from Rabbit to snag that out of the air like that.
Incredible catch. Terrible execution to finish the play. Terrible.
No. And then that is another,
Oh, you just got to stay down.
No, and it's another like fluky thing that happens in this game that then ends up costing the Cardinals in so many instances of sitting and watching this team throughout this game go at the beginning, wow, they're clicking. They look great offensively. This is what we've wanted to see.
Yep.
Look at Marvin Harrison Jr. getting involved.
Yep.
Okay, next play. We've gone to him a little bit less, but Trey McBride looks really solid. Oh my God, Bam Knight touchdown.
Yeah.
Great.
Which, I mean, basically had two there on that drive.
Yeah.
He looked good. He looked good.
Wow, this running back by committee thing is working. Michael Carter out on the field is easily picking up 6-7 yards every time he touches the ball.
He had a rough finish, though.
He did.
He had a rough finish.
He did.
18 for 51, 2.8.
And part of that feels like that life being sucked out of the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And it just continued to do so. And even though they had the lead, it felt like the game was up for grabs at the end, not only because it was, but it's just like, I have no faith on either side of the ball. And that felt capitalized by the fact that your franchise quarterback's out there with 2 minutes left in the game, and all you need to do is get a first down.
Yep.
And what do? You hand it off to your running back by committee 3 separate times, and you can't get a first down.
2 yards. 2 yards. Yeah, that was right into our third point.
Mm-hmm.
The almost. Because you almost put that game away. And here's the thing. Maybe you don't complete the pass. Give it to Kyler and let him do something. Even with the ball in his hand, maybe he doesn't throw the ball. Maybe he runs and picks it up. You have to let him do it. And he said, he's just going to go with the play call. And I feel like that's going to continue to be the thing. And I think people are going to start reading between the lines a little bit more about when people ask about what the play was there, why you decided to do that, it's very much that's the play call. And it kind of stops after that.
And Kyler already feels like he's in that dismissive state
Well,
when
and also,
talking to the media about that we've seen in years past where he doesn't like the direction the offense is going.
And I just think that there's a lot of people I think are mad at Kyler tonight, and I don't know if I've put it on him.
I don't. I don't. You didn't give him a chance to win you that game because you didn't either trust him with the ball in his hands, which then feels like that's a whole other discussion because why aren't we trusting our franchise quarterback to make that happen? Why are we trusting these running backs, some of whom you've just called up from the practice squad to make happen, and then they can't pick up 2 yards?
Yep. So it's 2 yards, 1st and 10, timeout at 3 minutes. Carter, no gain after that. DeMercado, 3rd and 8. This is the play. No gain. Gets a 2-minute warning. Plenty of time. That's so much time.
You also have the built-in timeout from the 2-minute warning.
Yep.
The Titans got to execute perfectly because they only had one timeout in crunch time, and they needed to take it when they needed to kick the game-winning field goal.
Yeah. So those are the big three of the biggest issues from today's game. That any of those go the different way, we're not talking about a loss. And I feel like that's just a common trend now each week. If those 3 plays over there just were a little bit different, if those 2 wide receivers made those catches, if the ball got kicked far enough on the kickoff, be a different outcome. And it's like you can't, with these teams in the beginning of the season, how we talked about it earlier when we did our record predictions and talked, like 2 divisional games, those are going to be tough. Other games shouldn't have been close. 2 wins should not have been close. This game should not have been close.
And now it's the easy part of your schedule right now where you were supposed to come out 5-1, maybe 4-2.
Now you're going up against 4-1 Colts. Good luck.
And
then you got the Packers after that. So,
yeah. Though you were supposed to work out all of these kinks before you got to this point. And now I'm just tired of sitting here making excuses for what this team could have been when you've seen a rebuild. You can't sit and tell me that we're in rebuild time because we're not in rebuild time.
No, Gannon said it best. Clock's ticking. They've got to figure it out. If this train keeps going the way it's going, things are going to happen before the end of the season.
And this is the game that everybody will come back to and go, okay, whose head's rolling?
Yep.
Because somebody needs to be blamed for this.
Yep.
And I don't know who it is sitting here right now. I know everybody else listening to
Drew
this.
Petzing will be
Drew Petzing will be one.
Yep.
Yes, and especially with Kyler's comments post-game, visibly looking at him talking about, I just do what I'm told.
Yeah.
I just run those plays. Also, is Kyler concussed? How's that foot injury? During the game, he leaves. We haven't even touched on the injuries.
Yeah.
Cody Simon leaves the game. Knee injury. Kyler Murray leaves the game for a few plays. We see Jacoby Brissett come in. He comes back in after Kyler gets hit in the helmet.
Well, that was with a football, though.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think it was concussed, but I think it was a foot.
Well, he comes back. No, he left for the foot injury. He came back in, and it was just like, what?
But it was weird. It was like, oh man, he just got nailed.
Yeah.
By a football.
The timing was weird too, also because he doesn't go to the medical tent. Somebody on the sideline says, you've got to come back to the locker room with us, which is kind of the signal to me.
I thought I did see him in the blue medical tent. I saw it up. Maybe just avoided it. Okay.
And then they bring him back. He comes back out after Brissett's had, 2-3 plays?
I think so.
And he's out there. And Tip Ryman, I mean.
That's the bad one.
I'll call it now, out for the season with that injury. The TV broadcast did not re-show it because I'm a masochist. I went back and I looked at it just to see what I thought had happened. Because in real time, you could tell he was really hurt. It's always one of those look down at the player and how is he feeling and what's his reaction. Anytime an air cast comes out, you know you're screwed. And it did immediately. The cart came out.
The whole team went out.
Yep. Tip screaming. That's when you see Kyler reemerge. Suddenly he's there, patting Tip, and you're like, what's happening?
Yeah. 2:40 left in the third, 2:38 left in the third. Yeah.
And I bring all of this up to say it's another thing that happens where you're so confident
They're
in your
21-6 at that point,
your
too.
13 personnel. You need Tip Ryman out there to be an extra blocker for you. Now you've probably lost him for the season. We talked last week about, hey, you've lost James Conner, you've lost Trey Benson, you need to change your offensive play calling and your offensive integrity. Now you need to do it again. And you need to adapt because
Travis
you
Volk,
didn't.
how much of a blocking tight end are you?
Yeah, because we're going to find out.
I mean, Elijah, too. I mean, he's stepped up. I think he's been a better blocker. But, yeah, it's I don't need to see you go catch balls. I need to see you block dudes. Like, that's what it's going to come down to now because, yeah, like you said, like, you don't do all those things unless you know it's a hefty issue.
Yeah.
So hoping for him, it's a bummer. I had such a funny conversation with him in the locker room. I'm not going to get into it, but just a very non-football conversation that was such a random conversation, but such a funny one just about where we would live in the States if we could pick between a couple places. But hoping the best for him.
Yes.
Brutal development there. But yeah, you come back and you just, I don't know what shakes this team loose. Like where do they go from here?
And for a while we talked about another reason I think it's important that Tip Ryman is going to be out for some time. At least we don't know the extent of the injury right now, but it's because your offensive line still doesn't look good.
And you had Will Hernandez back.
And you were using...
But I loved seeing him in there early, but then you could see John Gaines came in and they were not trying to put a whole workload on him.
No, they were trying to at least platoon the two or avoid injury or avoid him just getting... he's been ramping back up in practice. Yeah. He's not ready for full snaps yet. That's fine. Nobody expected full snaps right when he came back. It's going to be the same thing with Walter Nolan. When he comes back, he's not going to be full snaps. I mean, we could really do a laundry list of injuries for the Cardinals.
Hey, but shout out Bilal
point.
Nichols. Like, the fact that he just got activated off of PUP so fast, that says something. Like, I got to give a shout out to that guy because that was just I did not expect him to be activated or even active. Like that was pretty impressive to see him pop back. And he had been working hard. You'd seen him at practice. We've seen him at practice a couple times, really invested with getting guys to that next, like helping them, coaching them up. Like, so it was cool to see him kind of take, because he was getting after this last week. And I was like, it's open portion. I don't know for sure. Yeah. It looks like he's really good. But yeah, clearly he was. So that'll be something, especially with D-Rob still unknown there with the pec injury. So it doesn't sound like IR, but does sound like maybe a little extra time missed.
Yeah,
so.
Not IR, so it won't be full 4 weeks, but I'd imagine close to it.
Yep. And then it's okay. Then going back to the game, another area. Obviously, we've talked about the big issues. The penalties late, once again, hurt this team big time. Cannot have that happen. And I mean, even the bot snap, miscommunication there. Field goal range. Instead, give it to the Titans. Like just the little things, the details, closing things out, just not there.
Or
it's like a different team comes out.
Or at the end of the first half, instead of just holding on to the ball, trying to get down the field.
Go get one more kickoff. Yep. Exactly. And then it's just rough.
It's all the high level execution things.
And they had time of possession, like 32-40.
They failed to do this week.
Yep.
Because in a team against the Tennessee Titans that is actively one of the worst in football. And you proved that in the first half of this game, that they're one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. And you've played some of the worst of the worst. I mean, the Saints won this week. They beat the Giants, but that was not a pretty game at all.
Oh, yeah, Cam. That was a rough one for Cam.
It was a rough one. Yeah, lost a fumble on that one.
And that got returned for a touchdown.
And Jackson.
Okay, also.
And Jackson Dart just dropping the ball.
Yeah, what is. Okay. I don't know. Also, though, isn't there like a show coming out that's about, or did come out about somebody dropping the ball before they cross the goal line? Like it's a show.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's called like Chad Powers or something. And this guy is like about to win the national championship and drops the ball at the goal line, and the team takes it back to win the national championship.
I know what you're talking about now. Yes. That's like based off of that Eli Manning sketch thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Terrible time to do it. Terrible. That's all I'm going to say. Everybody who's done that recently is probably like, are you really? You're going to add insult to injury? But
then don't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. The other thing though, third downs. They did really well for most of the first half with manageable third downs, like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2, and just felt like at the back end there, they have 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 9, had a 3rd and 3 in there, 3rd and 1 in there, but then you've got 3rd and 9, another 3rd and 1, and then 3rd and 8. That was the one we just talked about. It's just those extended third downs are also a factor on why they just couldn't get anything going.
And it felt like most of those there coming in the second half of the game, I don't want to say it, but it reminded me of them just coasting.
Yeah. Oh, it felt like there was a coast job going on. It felt like, hey, let's just salt this game away if we can. And you can't. This team is not built to do that.
No,
they have not proven that they can end games the way they could have ended games or used to end games last year.
And you would have thought that would have been a motivator the past 2 weeks that you're coming off of, knowing that you can't coast, knowing that you have to play until the final whistle because you lose on walk-off field goals.
Yeah.
You'd think that would be extra motivation, especially for a team that you brought up earlier in this podcast. They had 10 days to prep for this game.
Yep.
They're coming off of a mini bye playing on Thursday night against the Seahawks, and that's your get-right time. This is your get-right game. I said it on the preview pod. This is where
the get-right game was. This was the get-right game, and you got instead.
And now you've got a regular week to turn this around against the Colts,
who are 4-1.
Yeah. And have a balanced run game and a balanced passing game. And you don't know who you're going to have as the Cardinals.
No, you don't. Yep. Colts, 4th offensive leaders. They're in 4th right now, averaging 381.2 yards per game. Indiana Jones looks like he looks like the Sam Darnold of the Vikings.
Yeah, that's a fair comparison. I mean, better.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
I mean, they're 4th there too, 253 yards per game. Rushing, They're right there in the top half. This one could get away from the Cardinals really quickly if they don't get this out of their system and move on. If they sit with this and stew, points per game, 32.6. That's what they're on offense.
Mm-hmm.
This team is going off. Oh,
they're the surprise. I think it's fair to say they're one of the surprises of the NFL this year.
And no big deal. The defense
way.
has given up 17.8 points.
Yeah, that's
no big deal. That's just third fewest in the league.
No, that'll be fine, especially against an offensive line that's been performing so well for the Cardinals. Kyler will have all the time in the world to execute.
Oh boy. Yep, 14 sacks too. Yeah, they're a squad.
And so you need somebody for the Cardinals in between these now 7 days of your next game to take accountability for what happened out there.
Gannon does. He does every week though. I need somebody that actually comes out and says like we messed up. And Amari, I think, was accountable for what he did, but it's to the point like talking to Paris Johnson in the locker room. He was even like, we just have to close these games out. Like, what else are we supposed to do here? And it's on. And he said it's on the players. They got to be accountable.
Mm-hmm. And so, how much culture change and how many of these buckets can we talk about if we're not seeing it out there on the field?
I know, because through 2 seasons, it was easily seen. Foundation was rebuilt. Yes. Culture was there. No doubt about it. Then you have this kind of game. You have the last couple of weeks, even the first 2 weeks, there were wins, but we came in here and talked about the concerns because we kind of could see things were going awry before they were really going awry. Now we're seeing that fully happening, and it doesn't look like there's a way out. It looks like, or it felt like, oh yeah, they went in, they shut the door, they locked the key, all the coaches dove in for this mini bye, they came out a new franchise almost. First quarter, oh my gosh, yeah. They really took it to heart. They really knew what they were doing. After that, no. And that's the most, I think, disheartening thing. And I think that's what fans are. It's like, we see what it can be. Why are you guys doing this to yourself? And that's the other thing. It's self-inflicted more than anything.
It is self-inflicted. We just talked about all the reasons it is self-inflicted leading up to this. And so at some point, either you've got to make a change on the coaching staff.
Yep.
You've got to make a change to your quarterback. Yep. You've got to make a change within the locker room that really motivates everybody. We thought that Will Hernandez coming in to start for this game would maybe be a catalyst for them. It wasn't.
I thought it was to begin with.
Yes. But then there's the slide and there's the backslide and there's the showing you who they truly are. And I think that's the more concerning part of this game is just not, oh my God, look what they can be. Look at how great they could be. To me, it's the other side of the coin. It's the...
Look what they're missing off.
Yes.
Missing on.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, let's just go take a nice jaunt over to the NFL standings to go take a look at the NFC West, because now San Francisco's 4-1. Everybody else does not have 4 wins in that division. Seattle and LA, 3-2. Cardinals, 2-3. So that easy schedule, there might be more than that for the Niners.
Yeah.
And they honestly, that Jaguars game is just weird now. But there is a lot that needs to happen for this Cardinals team to even get back in this. And it's only 2 games, but feels like a mountain.
It does. It does. And the Seahawks today lost the Buccaneers on a last-second field goal from the Bucs kicker in what was one of the best offensive performance by both teams' quarterbacks in NFL history. It was a great game. I recorded it and went back and watched it after I saw everything because I was like, no, I want to see this matchup. But that's another thing. You start to look around the division.
Look what these guys are doing. It just
look how they've adapted.
You just look around the league. These guys are scoring points. They're doing it. I don't think some of these teams don't have the same kind of talent level as the Cardinals. No. And they're figuring it out. The Colts baffles me offensively. That's the one thing I look at. Jonathan Taylor's a dude, but what? How can you not have anything close to that?
And you don't.
You don't.
You're not close to that.
If you don't think if you don't think you're behind the 8 ball and you think that you can't sugarcoat this. Today, this week, if you don't want to call last week embarrassing, largely embarrassing, you don't want to call it that, this week is. No way around it. You cannot lose to a winless team. that looked like a winless team for 3 quarters.
That is a rookie quarterback back there trying to lead the perfect 2-minute drive to get them into field goal range, and you let them execute it.
Yep.
Fairly easily, too. I mean, we haven't even broken down that last drive for the Titans to get into field goal range, but it's just, you want 12 yards? Okay. The DBs are late.
Yep.
They're on their guy, but they're late.
Yep.
And that's what ends up costing you the game.
Yep. And it's going to be, if they don't figure it out, there's going to be one of those constant things. What did they do wrong this time to lose the game? Because it hasn't been, what has the other team done to win the game? It's been more, what has Arizona done down the stretch or early on to put them in a spot where they should not win this football game?
I think the Seahawks game can be the outlier of that. I think
But they started terrible.
They did.
They were embarrassing for 3 quarters.
I mean, the Seahawks.
Oh,
the Seahawks
yes. No,
being the better team.
Yes.
Figuring it out. It felt less self-imposed for the Cardinals and more the Seahawks are the better team in this matchup. Mm-hmm. This is a clear matchup where you're better than the Titans and you let them win.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And how they respond is going to say a lot about what the trajectory of this team is. Because, we just talked about it, 4-1 Colts might be the toughest team they faced so far. That's crazy to say with the Niners and having to play the Seahawks. Seahawks look legit too, but the Colts are probably the toughest team they faced so far.
Yes.
And if they make it close, because I'm not giving them a win now. No way.
No.
You got to go prove it before I can say anything about you winning anything moving forward.
And then are we going to be sitting here next week going, okay, they kept it close against the Colts, and then are they...
There's a silver lining. Yeah.
But not even that. Are they then the version of the team that we saw early last year where they play the Bills close and they lose, so then we know that they're playing down to their opponents?
Yeah. They're playing with their food, and this week they choked on it.
Exactly.
Well, anything else you want to say about this one?
No.
You want to go?
I'm done. I've said my piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I have 2 then.
Okay, you good?
Yep, I'm good too. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by for another episode of Cardinals Corner. Follow me at @TDraker Sports. You can follow Lauren at Colville_. Lauren, you follow the show at AZ Cards Corner. And we'll be back next week. We'll preview things, try to find that silver lining, see if Cardinals can come back and win one and get everybody back on the positive, at least optimistic side of things. Because
get back to 500.
Yeah, there we go. Get back to 500. We'll see you then.